This week, the Argos take it on the chin. CFL updates their presentation, and we've got some new rings. Crack those cold ones. It's the Argos Fancast. You can find us at Argos Fancast or anywhere you find your friendly neighborhood podcast. Just search Argos Fancast. I am Clay Chisholm. You can find me at All Kinds of Clay. And, well, it's just me today. Normally we've got Will. You can find him at Argo Fans on Twitter, and go to www.argofans.com. And you can find Sir Douglas at Sir Douglas 1873 on YouTube, and Doug B519 exclusively on Blue Sky. Well, we did have a game. It didn't look very good, so let's get right to some of these stats in this game. Some of them looked a little bit better than they were. For the Argos, Nick Arbuckle started 20 of 32, 273 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, and a fumble in there. Running the ball, that was a little bit difficult. We managed a total of 10 rushing attempts, and Nick Arbuckle was our rushing leader for 3 carries for 17 yards. Deontay McMahon had 4 carries, 14 yards. Mayan Williams had 3 carries for 3 yards. And then through the air, didn't spread the ball around a whole lot. DeMonte Coxey, 5 catches, 99 yards. David Ungerer, 4 for 82. Dejon Brissett, 3 for 34. Tavares Daniels, 2 for 31 and 1 stretched out touchdown. Deontay McMahon, 3 for 19. Kevin Mittal, 2 for 6. And Mayan Williams had 1 catch for 2 yards in that. On defense, Wynton McManus stood out, looked a little bit pissed off in the second half. 9 tackles in this game. We did have a pick, and that goes, or a couple picks, and that goes to Sluka, making his first pick at safety, Derek Sluka. And where was the other pick here? Maybe it was just 1 pick. Yeah, well, we had definitely Derek Sluka had his first interception of the year. If you haven't realized, I haven't mentioned much of the score. We're looking at a loss of 28-10, and it really kind of broke out in the second quarter when Nick Arbuckle looked like he was attempting a forward pass, but it was deemed a fumble, and from there he let the ball get picked up and run back for a touchdown from the Montreal Alouettes, and it just was semi-downhill from there. We managed a field goal in the second quarter, and then a touchdown in the fourth quarter in garbage time. The Argos did not look ready. It did look like the third preseason game. This is about the time where we get to the good, the bad, and the ugly. There was a little bit too much ugly for this game. Our rushing attack, 10 carries, and only 7 by your running backs. That was pretty damn ugly. The Nick Arbuckle fumble, when you slowed it down, it was a legitimate fumble. But the one thing that I'm going to criticize a professional football player here, me as a sideline armchair, very much overweight fan who played a little bit in high school and was never very good. He saw the hit coming and he pulled back, and that's what caused that fumble there. So when they slowed it down, confirmed it was a fumble. Yeah, it looked bad. This looked like the Nick Arbuckle that we didn't necessarily want the first time around. It did not look like the Grey Cup winning quarterback that we saw previously in November. So our offensive line looked a little shaky. Our defensive line was not great either. Despite having a couple sacks, they did give up 163 yards at rushing. So that's not good either. So there you go, some bad. Trying to find some good in this game. Give it to Derek Sluka. He got his first pick of his young CFL career. The other one, Derek Parrish, looked like a man possessed in the first half. And then he just kind of disappeared with much of the defensive line there. So all in all, not a fantastic game. Like I said, looked like the third preseason game for the Argos. I was on a Stamps podcast earlier this week, and I talked a little bit about this. We've got 13 players starting in new positions on this team on both sides of the ball. On the offense, you've got Ryan Hunter, who last year played left tackle and left guard, and now he's moved over to right guard. He took some pretty bad penalties that we don't normally see him take, and I think those are more related to the fact that he wasn't able to hide it as well as he was playing on the left side, where he's played most of his football career. In addition to that, you had a couple guys on the left side at left tackle. You had Moore and you had Sage Dockstader at left guard, playing their first start, making their first start as Argos out there. And then on the inside, you had Darius Siracco, who is playing his first live fire game in more than a year, because he was out all last year with an injury. So that's one thing. You don't have our number one quarterback, who's likely going to be on the shelf again this week as well. Chad Kelly's still coming back from that ankle injury from the playoffs last year, and we've got Nick Arbuckle in there. We also have a new set of running backs carrying the load. Gone are Kadeem Carey and our big free agency signing in the offseason in Kevin Brown. Both of them taken out by some good play from the younger backs in this one. They didn't produce as much as we wanted them to. However, Dinwiddie did not call plays for them at all. So, you can't fault them too much on there. On the other side, obviously a whole new starting defensive line. We've got Cam Judge back at linebacker on the boundary side, and then on the field side, you've got Donald Rutledge, who is coming over and playing there for the first time with Winton McManus. So it's a little bit of a new guys there trying to figure each other out. As we mentioned before, we have Derek Sluka, an American, starting at safety, and not a position he's unfamiliar with, but it's his first foray into the CFL as a safety. Benji Franklin, Tavares McFadden, both played their first real live fire games of the preseason. Neither of them saw much action in the 2 preseason games we had. So, you've got a whole bunch of new things coming at you, and this is really the first game where they've had full reps for all three of them, or all of them as number ones. So I am looking forward to seeing them progress as a unit, figure out where one person drops off and another guy needs to pick up, and doing what Argos do and gel and win. Because now that we've got the third preseason game out of the way, that's done. The other thing that I did read earlier before last week was a lot of people were predicting this to be a rough game for the Argos, and it was, probably for the many reasons that I put out there. And you want to say, well, he could have retained a bunch of these. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in. We've got guys who make a lot of money, or a lot of money for the CFL, and guys who are due for some raises. And well, it you can't keep everybody. You can't keep everybody happy, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. You're going to get rated too. We've won the Grey Cup 2 of the last 3 years, and in the non-Grey Cup winning year, we threw out a 16-2 record, which means, quite frankly, you're going to get rated. We got rated Robbie Smith, who was our starting defensive end, he's now the highest paid defensive end in the CFL, or the highest paid Canadian defensive end in the CFL. With Edmonton, they took a couple of other of our great pieces. Royce Mechie got paid in Edmonton as well. Jake Serezna going back to Edmonton. Flo Warmalade he was a necessary evil to get rid of him so we could bring in Cam Judge and have a very evil linebacking core. So all that said and done, I'm making a lot of excuses for these Argos, but it was game 1, and they got to be better. They got to be better than that. Now, moving on around the CFL, not a lot of whole news and notes before we get to this week's game. It is our home opener. We're hosting the Calgary Stampeders, who look like a very good running team. They put up 158 yards running in their opening win. Currently, we're favored at 1.5 points over them, and I think that's pretty fair. But we did make one move ahead of that. We released Jyran Mitchell, who was one of the young running backs. If you saw the preseason game, he rattled off a 70-yard touchdown run, and one of the guys that made our older, more expensive running backs expendable. We released him off the practice roster. Kelvin Turner Jr. Goes down to the practice roster, which means somebody is probably coming off injured reserve. So we'll see how that works out. And as far as the injury report goes, we've had a couple practices, and looks like we're not going to see Chad Kelly in this game, and Janarian Grant as well is likely not going to be in the lineup for this team. So we'll still be going with Arbuckle and somebody new is going to be returning the ball. Maybe Deontay McMahon, David Unger, who filled in as well last year. They may step into that role on Saturday. Our home opener, 4 o'clock start. Now, I've trying to find some things to go. There was all kinds of storylines that people are putting out there. Obviously, some of the things we normally talk about is the power rankings and the Pro Football Focus players of the week. Argos fell from number 1 to number 7 in the CFL rankings, and rightly so. They did not play well. And so we're now playing as the underdogs, looking up. Like I said, we are hosting Calgary this coming Saturday, 4 o'clock start at BMO Field. Now, for those coming down early to tailgate, I want to let you know that there is a 10K marathon going on Lakeshore, just south of BMO Field. So the Lakeshore is going to be closed to, I believe it was Bathurst, Windermere to Bathurst, between 4 a.m. on Saturday to 11:30. And then it should open up after that. So we should have access to the south lot after 11:30, but there's going to be several of us down there early tailgating up in lot 854. That's just north of the BMO, resting on the heels of the Gardner there. So come out to lot 854, come see us there. It'll be a great time. And I'm not sure. Ginger hasn't fully settled on his exact menu, but I can tell you there will be bacon-wrapped Oreos. Let that sink in. Bacon-wrapped Oreos. They're fantastic. So yeah, lot 854 is where most of us are going to be. But game doesn't start till 4 o'clock, so you can still get your tailgating in after 11:30 once the road opens up, and you can get in there. But keep in mind, they are using some of that lot for the parking for the marathon, the Under Armour 10K, I believe it is. The Under Armour 10K. They are using some of that lot, and then lot 851. There's some Kendrick Lamar trucks taking up a lot of that lot as well. So lot 854. That's where we'll be tailgating this week, and hopefully next time we'll return to our regular lot 852, the south lot of BMO Field. But for now, like I said, 854 is where you're going to find us. Now, the other nice thing that happened with the Argos this week is they got their championship rings. And boy, were they nice. Nice and shiny, and we'll show some of the pictures here. And fans, the first 10,000 fans in the stadium will get their very own replica 2024 Grey Cup Championship ring.
An underdog is a hungry dog, ready to eat.
It is a long grind, the CFL season.
We've got Cameron Dukes looking to bounce back from their first loss. And things go from bad to worse for the Argos.
It's time. Let's go get it together.
Together on three. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Chad Kelly. The Argos are ready to welcome him back. Chad Kelly. It's caught. It's down inside the
from start to finish.
Just like that. Touchdown. Damaris Daniels. Intercepted. Quentin McManus. He can run all the way to Montreal. Darian Grant. Touchdown. DeCoxie. Unbelievable. Ryan Dinwiddie's Toronto Argonauts are good.
I don't think they're going to be coming apart like the Argos rings do, but first 10,000 fans will get one, and they're fantastic looking. So we'll look forward to that. And then I've got some reaction video from some of them. So you know what? I'm not even going to wait. I was going to wait for the 3-minute warning to put that in, but Demonte Coxey's reaction to getting his ring was just, it's too good to wait. So we'll look forward to getting those rings, trying them on. You know, we've got a few of them here. There's one from 2 years ago. We've also got a nice one here from the 105th Grey Cup. So they're pretty nice replica rings that they give out. They don't look cheap at all. Now, it is the greatest time of year. It is the greatest fantasy advice you will ever get from an Argos Fancast, hosted by a single guy with a slightly gravelly voice right now. So, with some great advice. Let's get to your fantasy here. So let's pull this up here. And I am going to preface this by saying I shit the bed last week. So right now, like I said, I'm probably not the right guy to be doing this anymore. We never have been. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a nice sleeper here. I want to throw in David Ungerer as one of our receivers here. I think he's bound for a good game, and he comes in on the cheap at about, I believe, is about 5,000 on there. So let's put him in there at one of the wide receiver slots. I'm going to stay away from the Argos running backs as well as I might think about Arbuckle in there as well. But the only guy that I'm really want to get in here is David Ungerer. So he's going to be your one of your wide receivers. It's the other one be Barry Hill III. He had a great showing in BC, but they are going into Winnipeg, so that might be a little bit tough for that one there. So it's there's some guys there. Emelis out of Saskatchewan was great in the wide receiver spot as well. Running backs, I think it's pretty standard. There's not a whole lot of guys that are going to really go off. The only one that I think might be worth the money is Sean Thomas Erlington for 8.5 playing Ottawa. So that's about the only one I would throw in there for sure. That's what we'll do. We get Sean Thomas Erlington as one of your running backs. David Ungerer. We'll go Emelis in Saskatchewan. Just for the hell of it, Arbuckle as our quarterback. you may want to think about Nathan Rourke as well if you've got the money. And we'll pencil in some other guys after that. Now, as far as the picks for this week, so normally we've got 3 of us on here. Douglas has been gracious enough to provide us with his picks. Will has opted for the coin of destiny. So we will flip that for Will. And as always, flipping the heads for the visiting team, tails for the home team. So let's get to this. So we start off the week Thursday night, 8:30 in Winnipeg. BC's coming to town. They're favored by 3.5. I am going to pick. You know what? I'm picking BC in this one. I'm picking BC plus the points. Sir Douglas has got Winnipeg over BC, and let's see what Will has got. Will has got heads, so he is taking BC as well. And then we go to Friday night. We've got Montreal favored by 3.5 going into Ottawa. I don't like Ottawa at all this year. 3.5, I think, is generous. I think you take those points and run with them. Montreal over Ottawa. Sir Douglas has got Montreal over Ottawa as well. And, well, let's see what Will is taking here. Will has got heads. He's also taking Montreal. Then we've got the main event. We've got a doubleheader on Saturday. We start in Toronto. Calgary at Toronto. Toronto's favored by 1.5. I'll take Toronto straight up. And this one, I think it's going to be a close one. Anywhere between, I think it's going to be a last score or 1-score game. I'll take Toronto in this one. Obviously, we're all taking Toronto in this one. Normally, we'd find out if they're going to, want to buy, 1 point or $1 million. Will is always going to take $1 million. So that's that. And then we've got Saskatchewan at Hamilton. I think Saskatchewan, despite having 900 injuries on their roster, is going to take out Hamilton. So I'll take Saskatchewan there. Plus the points, they're favored by 3.5. So yeah, easy 3.5. Take that Saskatchewan over Hamilton. Hamilton has not looked good at all. They looked in their first game. They looked pretty close to the same team that we played in the preseason. So Saskatchewan over Hamilton is my pick. Plus the 3.5. Douglas is taking Saskatchewan over Hamilton as well. Will is taking Saskatchewan over Hamilton. He hates both of these teams, so let's find out if he's taking the points or not. So the points obviously with Saskatchewan, and we're forcing him to pick Saskatchewan plus the points. He wasn't going to take Hamilton, and he would likely walk away from the microphone if we asked him to make this pick if he were on with us. So that does it for the greatest fantasy advice known to man. as far as the 3-minute warning, the Argos are continuing to do some fun challenges. They did the stay in the box challenge on Wednesday, and well, we'll show it to you here. It's kind of I don't think I could do this. I really don't.
Yeah, JG. Yeah. JG, you ready?
Yeah, man, you ready? JG. Oh, yeah. Speed it up, JG. Speed it up.
And that's time.
That's crazy.
This thing easy.
Lanier's going on vacation.
Bro, this ain't bad, though.
You know what?
That's all it takes.
Take ground, we don't give ground. Man,
Come on, man. I ain't even moving.
Not in the middle.
yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Move backwards.
Back up, Mark.
Backwards, Mark. Go to the left.
No,
Go to the
yeah.
left.
Chill out, y'all messing me up.
Crazy.
Engineering Grant is always going to try and take up extra room moving forward, which is exactly what we want to see our returner do. But yeah, it probably much harder than it looks. But the Argos are continuing with those fun little videos on social media, and well, we'll see what they bring us next week. Should be a lot of fun. And as already showed the ring and DeMonte Coxey's excitement with getting his ring. So we'll look forward to getting those rings this Saturday. BMO Field, first 10,000 fans will get one. And if you're coming to tailgate with us, remember tailgating in lot 854 this week. If you want to bring a donation for the CFL Fans Fight Cancer, Argo Ginger's usually got his donation bin out there, and he's more than happy to take a donation on your behalf for the CFL Fans Fight Cancer. That does it for the Argos Fancast this week. You can find Will at Argo Fans or at www.argofans.com. You can find Doug at Sir Douglas 1873 on YouTube and Doug B519 on Blue Sky. You can find his group, the Double Blue Order. Just search Double Blue Order and you'll find them on most major social media machines. You can find me, Clay Chisholm, at All Kinds of Clay on the various social media machines. You can find the Argos Fancast at Argos Fancast, or anywhere you find your friendly neighborhood podcast, just search Argos Fancast. And if you weren't already aware, we are now in living color on YouTube, thanks to our new network partners, Shotgun Sports Network .ca. So go check them out. We've got a bunch of great podcasts on there as well as the odd little tidbit from a few teams in the league. We're in the ground floor on this network, so we'll see where it goes from here. But only blue skies that we see. Got my double blue glasses on anyway. That does it for the Argos fan. That does it for the Argos Fancast this week. Talk to you